The West Houston Community Center was created to replace a facility called the White Building, which had been in use for decades for recovery groups and other community outreach programs. And it was dilapidated and in bad repair. And so this amazing facility was opened up in 2003 to provide a nice, welcoming, safe, clean environment to house mostly these different recovery groups and community outreach programs. At the West Houston Community Center, we don't run programs, we make programs better. We do that by providing a high quality facility at a very low cost to nonprofit organizations so they can focus their funding on their mission. We also manage the facility so they don't have to put their management energy into running the building. It is unique in our neighborhood. There's nothing else like it, and it's a lifesaver for these organizations. The reason our organization is so successful is because we have a dedicated team of volunteers and supporters, and we're able to run a low overhead operation. We have 1.5 employees keeping this wonderful facility running. The other part of that is there's a strong emotional connection both with our supporters, our tenants, and their clients. So they're all very heavily involved in keeping the facility running as good as possible. Put yourself in the shoes of a recovering addict. This is your first time walking into a meeting that you're very nervous about, and you're probably in denial about your condition. And all the myths and what you see on TV about where recovery groups meet is dingy, dim, dark facilities, maybe a church basement. When you come to the West Houston Community Center, you see this beautiful building, nice and clean, modern, and with welcoming people. When you walk into your meeting, very nice people in a bright room, very comfortable. It could literally be the difference between life and death, because you're going to stick with this program. You're not going to feel uncomfortable coming into this building. You're going to feel welcome. The primary way that we measure our success is by counting the folks that come in. We have people counters, and we measure the traffic in our building, and we've been averaging over 20% growth per year. Last year alone, we had over 100,000 folks come through the doors. We also listen to people's stories about the changes in their lives, and we get a whole lot of feedback from people saying how they've sobered up, how their lives have been saved, the positive impact that we've had in their lives. One of the things that is not commonly known about our organization is that we do not receive any government funding, not federal, not state, not local. And in fact, a lot of our clients and tenants don't know this, and we'll have a dialogue with them and they'll say, does the city fund this? No. So we're really a community-based organization. All of our funding comes from individual donors, a couple of local churches, and our tenants. Some of the major accomplishments of the center include the thousands of lives that have been saved and rescued by the programs that meet in our center from addictions. Addictions to alcohol, addictions to drugs, and addiction even to food. In addition, we impact the lives of hundreds of children every day with after-school programs, sports programs, and our neighborhood library. Historically, the biggest challenge for the center comes in the area of funding, because a building is kind of an abstract entity to solicit funding. And so we have to convey the message of the impact that we're having on in the community by providing this facility for our tenants to impact the lives of people. And so communicating that is a little bit of a challenge, but we work at it every day, and people are generous, so we're able to thrive and survive. The West Houston Community Center is, at the end of the day, a building. And buildings have wear and tear. We operate with a paradox in that the more successful we are, the more traffic that we drive, the greater the wear and tear on the facility. With additional resources, we will be able to keep up with the increase in use of the building and the wear and tear, and also improve what's there already. There's a few things that would make the life of our tenants better, and as a nonprofit, we're always having to make choices with our limited resources. Additional funding would allow us to address these areas that would make the lives of our tenants better. The West Houston Community Center is a very successful facility. We have proven that the model works. We have a vision in place of duplicating that throughout the greater Houston area. The actual need is infinite, and we would like to have at least another 10 centers spread out throughout the greater Houston area so we can impact those other communities that could benefit from the services that we provide.